Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to Bioscience with Shatrin Sawati, and I'm here to deliver the lecture about the enzyme function. As we are familiar that enzymes are protein in nature and they are biological catalysts and speed up the chemical reaction by lowering down the activation energy. So I will discuss each and every function of the enzyme one by one. So must watch the lecture till the end, and kindly, if you did not subscribe to my channel, do subscribe, like and share. Okay, now enzyme perform a number of biochemical reaction. You know that biochemical reactions are the metabolic reaction which are in the form of the anabolism and catabolism. Is it clear? Means making of the larger molecule and breakdown of the larger molecule into smaller molecule. So enzymes perform the number of functions like digestion, protein synthesis, protein breakdown, lipid synthesis, lipid breakdown, etc. So the enzyme help to eliminate the non-nutritive substances from the body. All those substances which are not needed by the body are excreted out as a waste material from the body. So they function to recognize the internal structure of the cell, to regulate the cellular activities, all these cellular activities, all these biochemical reaction. Is it clear? So enzyme most important function is to lower down the activation energy. And what is activation energy? The energy which is required to convert the reactants into products. Is it clear? And how when the transition stage what is the transition stage? When the reactants or the substrate bind to the product for the by the covalent catalysis, then at that stage the energy of the reaction is known as the activation energy. That stage is the transition or intermediate stage, and the energy is the transition energy. That energy is the activation energy, and that energy is lowered down by the enzyme. If there is no enzyme, that what will happen? The reaction will be slowed down, and when there is a enzyme, then reactants easily converted into the product, because the enzymes are responsible to speed up the biochemical reaction. Is it clear? So the most important function is to lower down the activation energy, because all the biochemical reaction are carried out by lowering down the activation energy. Okay. Enzyme help in generating energy, and as we are familiar that the ATP is the biological molecule which store the energy. So the ATP synthase is the best example, which is responsible for the what, or which is involved in the synthesis of the energy. During respiration, as you can see here, during photosynthesis, in the chloroplast, in the mitochondria, in different chemical reactions like Krebs cycle, glycolysis, electron transport chain, light reaction. So all these reactions generate energy, and that energy is stored in the biological molecule, which is ATP, and the enzyme is ATP synthase. Okay. Enzymes are responsible for the movement of ions and molecule across the plasma membrane, as well as the mitochondrial inner membrane, thylakoid membrane. As you can see here, that this is the thylakoid membrane. All the membranes are lipid bilayer, and these are permeable and responsible for the movement of the ions and molecule, and many other functions are performed by the membranes of all the organelles as well as the cell. So you can see here the ATP synthase, which is responsible for the formation of the ATP, also help in the transport of the hydrogen ion in and out. Similarly, there are ATP ADP transferases or translocases. Similarly, you can say that phosphate translocases enzymes. All these enzymes are responsible for the movement of the ions and molecule across the membrane. Is it clear? So enzyme help in the movement of ions too. Now, The third one, they break down large molecule into the smaller substances. Like during digestion, what will happen? The protein, lipids, and many other carbohydrates like starch all break down into smaller molecule. And enzymes like lactase, maltase, sucrase, and proteases, etc., all responsible for the breakdown of the larger proteins, lipids, etc., into smaller, like fatty acids, amino acids. Is it clear? So they are helpful in the breakdown of the larger molecule into smaller molecule. Okay. Enzyme help in signal transduction too. Means when the cells, one cell give the signal to the other cell, actually cells communicate with each other, talk to each other. The most common enzyme used in this process include protein kinases. And kinases, you are familiar that what are kinases? Kinases are the enzymes which are responsible for the phosphorylation of the proteins. So here the protein are enzymes, and you can see here this is the protein which is inactive because no phosphate is attached here, and this is the protein enzymes which is attached with what, phosphate, and this phosphate come by the breakdown of the ATP into ADP, and this phosphate is, you can say, that transfer from the high energy ATP molecule to another high energy molecule by the help of the kinases. Actually, these kinases are responsible for the transferring of the phosphate group from one high energy molecule to another molecule. Is it clear? So enzymes become active, and you can see the signal come inside of the cell, means the signal received by the cell, and here you can see the signals, what signals give out of the cell, in and out. So the enzymes also help in the cell signaling. Okay, I hope so the lecture will be clear upon you people. If you have any question, kindly write in the comment box. I will be back with my next lecture. Thank you. Till then, Allah Hafiz.